Now, joining me online is NBC's Emil Seibeb, who is assigned to that region. Good evening, Emil.
Good evening, Denver. Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Now, Emil, you've spent a few days in the Hardap region. What has been your observation around the social and economic situation facing most in the region?
What you can see, I don't think is unique to the region, Denver. There are issues of unemployment, youth unemployment in particular, and the issues of water and ablution facilities is also not unique to the region. From the regions that I visited, I think this region also shares similar issues with the region. But I must say that 2 weeks ago, there were about 300 residents that received land occupancy certificates. But the governor, when I spoke to him earlier, says that the population keeps growing to a fact that they try to fix or address the situation, and then the situation just doubles, which he termed as uncontrollable. Yes, go ahead.
Well, earlier on, you also had an interview with the regional governor, as you mentioned. How is the leadership addressing some of these challenges that you've just mentioned?
Yes, I spoke to the governor, Solomon April, Denver, and when I spoke to him, what I could pick up is that the governor is very passionate about tourism and mobilizing young people to start businesses in the region. What the governor's concern right now is that the COVID-19 pandemic, including the persistent drought in the region, is contributing, because you should know that this region has a lot of commercial farms which employed a lot of youth and a lot of young people within the region. Because of these two combined, these people have lost employment and they have come back to the town. Now, the governor's intervention, when I asked him what his immediate plan is, he is a governor now for 6 months. So what are his immediate plans? He is really focused on reviving the tourism industry, but not only for these people or for the youth to go back as employees, but he has a bigger plan, he says, where he wants these people or the youth to go back as employers and get the necessary government assistance in restarting or starting their businesses.
Okay. Now, Emil, to many, elections are all about change. And having spoken to the residents, are there any notable developments that have taken place in the region since the last elections that residents are perhaps particularly excited about?
Well, I asked the governor the very same question, Denver, and the governor informed me that he does not want to measure developments that have happened in the region in monetary values, but he pointed out the newly built fire station. After that, I drove to the Aranos town, where I spoke to the town council, the deputy mayor, and the CEO. And Aranos, I must say, has a lot of developmental projects currently going on. The construction of roads, the betterment of the gravel roads. What is lacking, and what I have observed, Denver, is the lack of youth recreational activities. I've been to Marindal and Aranos so far, and what I'm asking is, what are the youth? Because due to this COVID and due to the lack of tourism in the region, many young people are unemployed. What are the councils doing to keep the youth busy? And I did not really get a satisfactory answer to those two questions. And I've been driving around, being foreign to the region myself, trying to observe if I could have a before and after picture. But from what I'm seeing, I don't see a lot of big, huge malls or a lot of recreational facilities or leisure facilities that one would expect to find or that one finds in Swakopmund or Windhoek for that matter. So that question, I have not gotten a clear answer. What I'm rather getting is very large national developmental programs like the construction of roads. I know the governor and the line minister is also going to open a new road on the side of Gibeon. But the immediate concern of the people that if such an eventuality happens in the near future, what are the youth to engage in? Because it's quite sad that when you drive to the location, the only recreational or the place where you find a lot of youth are at bars and shebeens.
Okay. Well, Emil, we'll certainly keep touch as we continue and as we get closer to the election date. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Denver.
That was our reporter Emil Seibeb, who is in the Hardap region. And the NBC will keep you posted and updated through our various platforms. For from all corners of the country as we go.